night with Rival. We will be ending it with Veteran. And speaking of Rival, it's going to be Kinetic versus Leshy. Kinetic coming in as the number 5 seed, whereas Leshy's coming in as the number 2. And let's take a look over at the season stats here. What's popping out to you, T-Sam?
I mean, right away, I look at these stats. I look at shooting percentage. Leshy with a noticeable advantage there, shooting almost 35% compared to Kinetic's 29.5. Kinetic's definitely gonna want to, they're not gonna want to be missing too many shots, or they could find themselves losing the offensive battle here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, looking at these numbers here, it's looking like Kinetic is a bit more defensive. I mean, obviously they have more saves on their side, but they also have more saves against. So it's looking like it's going to be a bit of a midfield battle for them. They're going to concede a little bit of control and try and shoot from that midfield a little bit less lethal comparatively to the 240 saves against. So I'm anticipating things to be a little bit of a back and forth, but let's go over and look at the player stat side of things real quick. I mean, first and foremost, 240? Is that real? Wilder? Hello?
Yeah, Wilder's been having a great season all season long, has been near the top of the stats in goals per, MVPs, shots, as we can see. On that MVP ballot too, I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder wins, definitely carrying the offensive load for Kinetic there, and we'll be looking to see a lot of them tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, on the Leshy side of things, we're seeing high shooting percentages kind of across the board. Good numbers there. Pretty even as far as the assists go. So it's looking like a well-rounded effort for both sides here. Whereas you were talking about Wilder really is probably going to be that offensive press for the Kinetic side of things. But you know what? It's one of those things. We can sit here. We can talk numbers all day long. I think what we ultimately got to do is work on getting these players into the lobby and actually getting this bad boy started. I mean, it's going to be a good one. I don't know if anyone saw. We've got a prediction up. See who's going to actually come out and win this one. Put your points towards who you think is going to take this home. But with that being said, T-San, I think we're ready to go.
It looks like it, and players are in. We're counting down Rival Finals. Starting right now, Wilder and Havoc off the kickoff. And Sly Cooper looks like they're going to take control in the midfield, going off the ceiling, maybe trying to get a second touch, doesn't have it. Brady going to clear down the field. Scrivier thought about it, backs off. And a couple of back and forths between the two teams, Crop. Shot from Caustic, but it's going to go high. Crossbar, save and a goal there. Crop, what are you looking forward to from both of these teams tonight?
I mean, I'm just looking for the plays coming through. I mean, I'm expecting to see a bunch of back and forth, especially in this first game. It tends to be the feeler game. Nobody's really going to take control. It's just going to be see who can get that first opportunity. And it's looking like things are kind of heading back and forth, except for when this is going to be a lovely double touch. I was just talking about the feeler game, and I just get shut up with this lovely beat at the midfield right on top of the box, and bang, sends it in with a double.
Yeah, that's the caster curse. Great control there on the double. Absolutely beautiful. And 1-0 to start out for Leshy. That's what they want. You want to get that lead early, set the tone, but Sly Cooper is going to answer right back, wasting no time at all, and we have a tied game here, Crop.
And we've got a caster curse going the other way, talking about immediately getting that lead, and then Sly shuts it down. Beautifully done to get it back in there. Good pressure immediately off a kickoff. I mean, again, it's going to be a back and forth affair, but my word, I was not expecting this within the first minute. Tying us back up here, so let's see if anyone actually gets some control. Nice pass down mid, a little flick up, but Sly is waiting patiently, and it's going to be a race for the ball. One outright by Brady to the backboard, but nobody's there in the second man position to follow up on that opportunity. It's going to be to the sky, is going to be Scrivier, I believe is how we're going about with this one. We're just going to pretend we know what's happening. And it's going to be Wilder sending it down in a big race. And looks like what I was thinking previous to this is going to be a midfield battle. And here's an opportunity going the other way, but nobody taking clear chances outside of the 2 goals so far.
Yeah, except here's an opportunity here. Caustic just missing the pass from Sly. It was a great opportunity. And Leshy's going to be going the other way. Scrivier bringing out the mechs, but the crossbar denying another goal. Saving both teams some defense now, and the big demo on the goal line. Wilder's there, can't quite get it around. Both teams with opportunities. Sly Cooper's there with the shot. Brady with the save. And now we're starting to get some high-octane action here, Crop. Both teams going back and forth. The dunk from Brady. And that'll be a 2-1 lead for Leshy. What a sequence of events there. My goodness.
Oh, the dunk is just absolutely picture perfect. Scene where they're going to clear the ball out to. But I mean, more than anything, it's finally people starting to take control, and you can see there was that little bit of slowdown looking for the passes as well, but ultimately this comes from a solid solo play, and we were talking about it coming into this. Wilder's probably going to be that one to take over, but so far it's looking like Leshy is just not having any of it.
Yeah, exactly as you said, but here's Wilder there, pass to the mid, Caustic's lurking, but Brady is going to beat them to the ball. And that will deny a goal-scoring opportunity for Kinetic. Now Leshy going the other way. Scrivier tried to get the touch, couldn't. Sly Cooper passed one. They have an open net. Caustic's going for, I thought was going for the demo, backed off of it. Kinetic keeps offensive pressure. Wilder's there. And nothing will come out of that. Kinetic they've had quite a few opportunities, but apart from the early answer, have not been able to connect on that final piece of the pie for their offensive attack.
Oh, dangerous. Low on boost, though, and Sly's going to come in and clean that out. I mean, yeah, it's looking like Kinetic was able to get that early equalizer, but been kind of shut down so far. A lot of opportunities going down towards Leshy's way. I mean, you can see a lot of times somebody trying to run ahead and get a bump, but the shooter ends up being low or no boost, so you can't actually take advantage of that player running ahead, creating that press, creating that zone out as well. But let's see if they can kind of tighten things up. Again, you can see Wilder trying to run ahead, create that space, but that's going to leave third man out to dry, and Scrivier up by 2.
And a great play from Scrivier, going at just challenging the ball early, getting control. Now that is a huge goal. Get yourself some insurance with a minute 30 remaining. Kinetic, they still got plenty of time, but they're going to want to get something soon to keep their mental in the game. Scrivier going for the Mex again. Had the shot on net. Sly Cooper will meet. And we've seen a lot of offensive pressure from both teams, but the opportunities have connected for Leshy. They have not for Kinetic. And we're counting down now, Crop. 1 minute to go. Scrivier towards Brady, who's going to send it high. Going for a second touch. Doesn't have it. Wilder goes down the field. Has an open opportunity on the net. Shoots. Will get saved by Scrivier. And we stay with a 2-goal game under a minute remaining, Crop.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be really the name of the game so far. It's just coming down to Kinetic not being able to put it all together on the offensive zone, and Leshy coming in and just taking over control. It's been a lot of really good solo plays to start that momentum, that press, and then they just take advantage every single time. They're not letting the opportunities go wayward, where Kinetic has been so far. Opportunity here yet again, but it's going to be slightly wide, and it's going to be Scrivier trying to send it out. Brady, big 50, but it's going to be a loss here. Opportunity for solo play, and Sly Cooper, beautifully done, getting the beat at the midfield here, and then the speed of recovery to get back up to it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful recovery indeed, and keeping Kinetic's hopes of a Game 1 win alive here. 19 seconds, plenty of time to score an equalizer, and it won't be a favorable kickoff for Kinetic, and a big demo from Havoc. Brady SC putting it to the wall, looking to take control in the air, slowing it down, just wasting that time. Kinetic has to get something going right now. It's high in front of the box, could be dangerous. Wilder's there, demo on the back line. Wilder with 1 second remaining ties the game, and we could be heading to OT in Game 1, Crop.
They finally got the recipe book to come together. They finally had that player run ahead, get the demo, and the shot on. That is the most important part. Able to get us tied. 1 second remaining. My word, and what a way to do it. It's looking like it's going to be overtime. This should touch here, and yes, indeed, Game 1, of course, goes to overtime.
Hey, that's what we love to see. The more Rocket League, the better. Havoc looking to make the offensive opportunity there. Passes it back to Scrivier. Scrivier been showing off the mechs all game so far. passes to Brady, goes for one touch, doesn't quite get the second. A little bit of an unfavorable bounce there in the corner. But into the orange half, nobody for blue was there. Scrivier up in the air again, air dribbling it, going all the way.
Oh,
Scrivier gets saved by Wilder. Oh my goodness, and we remain going here in OT. It was a beautiful attempt from Scrivier crop, but again, it doesn't go in. We remain 3-3 here.
I thought that was going to be the one. I mean, you could see somebody running ahead, didn't actually get the bump, and it was third man left all alone, had to get a hero save and was just barely able to do so. So it's going to be Kinetic trying to keep this press, keep the opportunities going, keep this in the orange box. Sly's going to run back for boost, and Scrivier's going to slow it down, go for the sky, not able to do so, gets bumped out of the way, and that's a double commit. It's all up to Havoc. Do you wait? And yes, you waited too long, and Wilder, I mean, honestly, stole this game. Beautifully done, and good recognition that the last defender's playing slow. Just get down behind him.
Wilder easily the hero of Kinetic for game number 1. Tying it up with a second remaining and getting the game winner there in OT. Again, I thought that was Leshy's game, especially off that Scrivier air dribble. But some heroic saves coming out from the Kinetic side. And what a way to start our finals. I mean, we are clearly in for a show here tonight.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about before we got into this when we were looking at the stats. Kinetic coming out, being that little bit more defensive team, has the 4 comparatively to 2 saves. But the thing that kind of surprises me is they came out and had more shots. I mean, I wasn't quite expecting that, but they were able to make it happen. It's going to be that 11-8, if I'm doing my math correctly. Caster math's one of the hardest things to do, I swear, and I was seeing really good back and forth the entire time, especially the feeler game for this. I mean, obviously getting to overtime, you know that things are solid here, but my word, what a way to come out. And honestly, like I said, I feel like Kinetic kind of stole that game. 1 second remaining, tie it up.
Yeah, and what a huge way to go into the finals. All that momentum, you know, an 1 second tying goal, an OT winner. That is definitely the recipe to get your team pumped up. Mental is going to be high for Kinetic. They're going to be feeling good. And look, Leshy is just they're going to have to respond here in game 2.
Yeah, gonna have to respond indeed. I mean, it's nothing huge you gotta change. We saw the mechanics coming out from Leshy. They did all that they needed to do up until that final press. And honestly, oh my, I'm over here trying to talk about the game, and Wilder shuts me up with a beautiful double touch, this time going the other way.
And I don't know if you could see in the replay, Wilder actually got bumped in the air a little bit there by one of the orange defenders. I wasn't sure who, but was able to keep control of the car and still put in a beautiful double. I mean, there's nothing prettier than that. Havoc taking a shot on net. Wilder will be there for save. Caustic Snow now going to send it downfield. Got one touch, but wasn't able to get the shot. Now, Orange Squad going the other way. Brady SC with a beautiful air dribble into a dunk. Woo!
And this is the danger of the Kinetic play style. They sent 2 up ahead, and again, it's all up to Sly. Sly has to be the hero third man there and just isn't able to do so. It's high risk, high reward Kinetic gameplay, but you know, they're able to get it out in the first game. But if Leshy starts to become wise to it and starts to play a little bit different, goes for those boomers, goes for those opportunities, my word, that should have been one on the board there. But Caustic getting up, and Wilder has an opportunity. It's going to be in the box. Slides in a race, gets it to the side. No, just barely not able to get it inside. And Havoc trying to run ahead to be the receiver on the pass. And it's going to be Brady streaking back low on boost. So Sly just has to be one. Actually gets a fake, and Brady sends it out, but it's just a pass to Wilder. And my word, Wilder, 2 goals on 2 shots. Just doing work right now.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot for Havoc to be in. 64 mph on the shot. It's hard to react on that one. Not much you can do. Kinetic now taking a 2-1 lead. A minute into this game, we are seeing a lot of offense right now. That's been in the name of the game crop. Which team is scoring more goals? Sly Cooper trying to make something happen here. Will back off of it, though. Brady SC over to Scrivier. Oh, my goodness. What a beautiful passing play followed by a beautiful shot. Yeah,
And-
Rivals putting on a show for us tonight.
Yeah, there it is yet again, running ahead, and then the third man has to do everything. Isn't even on the map that time around. I mean, it's gonna be back and forth. What more would you expect or want out of the grand finals for this rival tier? Maybe two in this corner, a little bit awkward. Let's see if they can actually get it down towards mid. No, Sly's gonna handle it nicely. Caustic's gonna come in to take over, but it's a big boomer back down into the blue side of the field. Sly's gonna come in, start this press, gets it to the corner, trying to get that bump yet again. They're being so opportunistic with the bumps, and sometimes it creates pressure, and sometimes it creates exactly this. The entirety of the defense just has to run back and try and get an outright win, but so far hasn't come back to bite him on this run of form.
Yeah, not yet, but we'll see if that continues. You know, you can only play with fire so many times before it burns you. And Scrivier really trying to bring out the mechs every chance they get, but it looks like the defense is going to be caught. Outcrop. Oh, that was Caustic. Yes, Caustic catching Havoc a little too far forward. And that will be a 3-2 lead for Kinetic.
You could see as they were streaking back, they did everything right up until that final decision. They decided to cut in to try and keep the offensive press going, and that completely destroyed their momentum, their ability to get back to that ball. I mean, honestly, it wasn't too terribly lethal. It's just that decision on defense, and that's kind of what's been leading to these big open shots. A lot of these coming from the other side of the field, because he just catched that third man, and speaking of catching the third man, just getting bumped out of the way, my word. The press from Kinetic is so gross right now.
Yeah, and Havoc ran out of boost, was the best touch they could get. Brady SC was on the other side of the field, and Scrivier just got beat to the ball. Left the net wide open for Kinetic, who now take a commanding 4-2 lead here in game number 2. We're just reaching halfway now, Crop, and right now this has been Kinetic's game from the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first one was way more of a back and forth affair. This time around, it's looking a little bit more one-sided. Everything's starting to kind of click. The mechanics have started to warm up. The pressure's there, and this is just so unfortunate. You had somebody on the goal line. They just crept a little bit too far ahead. You can see Brady streaking back and just very slight defensive positioning mishaps. You just got to be a little bit more defensive minded, but you know, it's hard to say that's an inherent negative when you're down by 2. You want to continue that press. You have to be offensive focused. But, you know, if it's going to roll in your net like that, that's going to be what comes back to bite you. And they've got insurance and then some for Kinetic.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to see the Leshy game plan change up a little bit in the next game if things keep going the way they are. Because they're pushing too far forward. That's what, the 3rd time they've been caught out now this game? And that will be the 4th. Wilder this time, who has a hat trick. Actually, Wilder and Caustic both with hat tricks here. 6-2 now in game 2. It's getting a little ugly out here.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit one-sided, but I mean, it's from, and that specific shot was from in the blue box. It's just so clean right now. I can't even finish my point about the ball being shot from the other side of the field, and Caustic does it again, right there at midfield. Again, the defensive third right now for Leshy has to do better, and the second man, you have to put your hand up. You gotta stop allowing these shots to just freely rain in, and I mean, at this point in time, you want to start to try and steal some momentum, try and get one on the board, get an absolute barn burner. But so far, it is looking like it's going to be Kinetics to take away, and it's looking convincing as well.
It's looking very convincing, and I've noticed that Leshy rotation it's not really there, you know. Yeah, they're coming back on defense, but it doesn't appear to be any kind of real order to it. And it's left them open several times now on the net. Leshy definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board in game number 3. Shot from Brady, but it'll be easily saved by Wilder. Sly Cooper with a save too. And Leshy trying to get something here at the end. Brady off the backboard to Scrivier, but no. Once again, we're counting down under a minute now, and Leshy, they're trying to get something for the road, but Kinetic's having none of it, Crop.
Yeah, absolutely. And that play on form there, we could see that Brady was sitting deeper. I think that's really what you got to do differently. Just have your third man sitting, like, basically in your box, honestly, and just have the first and second man run wild. But you got to try and get one on the board, like we're saying, see if you can change up some of this momentum, because Kinetic, after that goal at the 1 second mark to take it into OT and taking that OT, I mean, if I was playing in this game, I would be screaming the moment that goal went in, and it's looking like they're going to continue this momentum. Opportunity sent down the other way. Brady trying to cut this off, but it's actually sent to the outside instead of sending it in towards the box, and that's going to be it. Kinetic, a convincing victory in game 2 here. I mean, beautifully done.
Very convincing, and a full team effort on the offensive end. Wilder with 3 goals, Caustic with 4, and Sly Cooper didn't score anything but 3 assists. And
yeah, Sly, what are you doing? Do better, my man. Get a goal. What are you doing? My word. Sorry to cut you off there, but I mean, that's just so bananas. 700 plus for 2. My word. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, get your predictions in. Looking like we're going to have another prediction up here. Do you think that this run on form for Kinetic continues, or can Leshy get the mid-series adaptation? What are you thinking, T-Sant? What needs to be done? Because something big needs to happen.
I mean, look, you know, it's obviously a little bit different. We get to kind of see everything happening. It's a lot different for the players on the field. I think Leshy just needs to keep, you know, don't push too far forward. Be patient on defense. And I think they'll be able to make this a much closer game. I mean, Kinetic, you know, it was, 4 goals where they just literally caught the defense completely out of position. They had wide open nets. You take those 4 goals away, you know, if you have somebody back, and we have ourselves a game. And I would love to see also, excuse me, I would love to see also Leshy challenge a lot better against Kinetic, because Kinetic had a lot of just open plays where they had, I think you said it, just nobody was putting a hand up.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is not only do you have to have somebody back as a deep man third, but you also got to try and interrupt. You got to not allow for those passes to come through. Speaking of passes, oh my word, a 3-man passing play coming through. But yeah, you got to stop the point of the contact on top of having somebody deep, and that's really going to be the big difference. I mean, so far, it's been a really defensive stand, and they're allowing it to naturally transition into offense for Kinetic. Whereas Leshy just looks so offensively focused that they're just allowing these big boomers to go through. And good boost steal there from the midfield for Caustic. And Brady's trying to keep something going. A bit of an awkward touch mid, but again, nobody's really there to put a hand up. Almost Gaster Curse.
Yeah, hey, you're absolutely right, though. Every time it seems that when Leshy does have an opportunity, they don't have someone in position to make the score. They got to be, you know, when they push up, it's too much. You know, they don't have an opportunity. When they don't push up, the opportunities are there, and they miss out on them. Leshy definitely has to find that balance. And so far, our longest scoring drought of the series. 1.5 minutes now here in game 3, still no goals. Leshy looking to make something happen here in game number 3. And that goes mid, but nothing there, Crop. Now, Sly Cooper, 15 with Havoc. Trying to get another 50 to Scuvier there. Doesn't. Wilder hits the ball, but it goes in favor of Leshy. Scuvier now over to the mid. It's high. Brady SC gets a touch, but Caustic with some great defense. Havoc now trying to get involved. No, it gets cleared out. Still with offensive possession. Huge dunk from Brady there. Caustic's going to get the save, and we remain scoreless. Huge redirect from Wilder. Could that be a no? Scuvier with the save. What a crazy touch.
Bang.
Sly Cooper there. Both teams going back and forth, Crop, and still no goals.
I don't know how they're keeping these out. My word. I mean, this is what I was exactly asking for. You got to have the better defense. And the thing that's starting to creep in that I'm seeing more and more is, especially Sly, but Kinetic, a lot of times, if they don't have a clean win on the ball, they'll just leave and go steal a corner boost. The reason they always have the ability to have boosts to get up to that ball is they are constantly in the offensive zone stealing boost, and it's starting to cause havoc. Speaking of which, Havoc has to stretch for that one. Poor choice of words there. On me, honestly. Tempted to try and keep it out to the side. Sly just gonna boom that on. Wilder with the redirect. It's off the top bins, not able to get it down. Caustic going for the, I don't even know, 17 touches. Comes out and ends up being an assist, but my word, this was just absolutely bananas. Caustic keeping it in.
Yeah, great control from Caustic there to be able to drop it down for Wilder. You know, that redirect from Wilder, I didn't have a great angle on. I thought that was going to go in. But regardless, Kinetic will still take the first goal of the game. As we're counting down here, crap, under 2 minutes, a 1-goal game. Any team could still take over. Big demo on the back line there will keep Kinetic in control of the ball. Caustic going for the shot, doesn't have it. And that's a favorable bounce for Kinetic. Havoc misses on the back line. Scrivier is there, though. And now Scrivier with some space, going for the mid boost. Big challenge from Wilder there, not letting Scrivier get space. That's huge for Kinetic. Havoc gets the touch. Scrivier now with the save. Sly Cooper gets one, gets a second touch, going for the shot. Doesn't have any boost to work with. And we're seeing some extended pressure here from Kinetic now, Crop. They have been in this orange half for quite a while.
Yeah, they got it down into that corner and they just tried to trap it in there. They're getting all of the resources out from the Leshy side, but finally able to send it the other way. It's going to be an opportunity to gather those very important resources, get that boost, and start to try and send the ball down forward. It's going to be Brady trying to make that happen. Up over one. Havoc with the redirect attempt. No, trying to go for the dunk instead. And it's going to be up. It's a double commit. So if Havoc can get this back in the zone quickly, it's going to be Sly. Waited patiently after that double from the Kinetic zone and attempt to get it in. And no, it's going to be into this corner again. But I don't know if Leshy has the ability to kind of trap and steal resources like Kinetic has. So we'll see if this comes out to be any sort of offensive press or if it just kind of dies here in the corner. You got to get it out towards mid, especially with 20 seconds remaining. Down by one, you got to make it happen. You got to make it happen now.
And Kinetic keeping that pressure in the orange half. Caustic over to Wilder, going for the shot. We're counting down under 10 remaining. Leshy, they need it now. They'll be facing a daunting reverse sweep attempt in the finals. Clock has hit 0. Will that touch the ground? Scrivier keeps it alive. And that will be it. Kinetic taking a commanding 3-0 lead here in the rival finals.
Wow. I mean, it's just, this time around, it wasn't a sheer offensive press. This time it was just lockdown defense. And the thing that's important here is they didn't even have to get saves. It was lockdown defense to the side. You don't even have to get the ball towards the box. They just kept it in the corners, and they continued to run out the clock with that 1-goal advantage. I mean, that's it. I mean, you have set everything in motion that you could possibly need to make this happen up in the series, and the momentum continues to be on Kinetic's side.
Yeah, and looking at that game, after Kinetic got that goal especially, they did just a fantastic job of keeping boost in the car. They did a fantastic job of keeping the ball in the Leshy half, so they couldn't break out. They could not get any real passing plays, any real possession. I mean, it felt like that entire game was in the orange half. And Leshy, with their least amount of shots in the entire series so far, only getting 4 on net. Kinetic looks like they have the formula right now, and they've looked so smooth in not only on offense, on defense, the rotations. I mean, I could really go on all day, Crop.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say as well, I know that nobody can see this, but the moment we got into this lobby, Kinetic was into the lobby. They are ready for this. They're ready to try and shut this down, get the clean sweep, have a quick day in the office here. They're going to try and start off with an offensive press and a bump, and there's going to be a clean look. Havoc having to streak through. I mean, the last second from the opposite side of the screen, barely able to make it happen. But the double commit, all three are in this corner. So it's going to be Wilder able to get a shot down, and it's going to be Caustic low on boost, so streaking the entire way back, allowing Wilder and Sly to continue this press by themselves. It's going to be sent to the sidewall, and here comes Caustic trying to keep it in, but the touch is wayward, and a bump comes through for Wilder. My word, and gets bumped to Narnia by themselves as well. It is just such a dirty fight in this corner right now. I don't know if anyone's outright winning it, but so far the score sheet is clean.
Yeah, and this could be dangerous off the ceiling, but it will be saved. Sly Cooper's there, though, into an open net. Sly Cooper taking the 1-0 lead in what could be the deciding Game 4 crop. That is what Kinetic wants.
Yeah, and there was a double commit there. I think Havoc actually bumped the defender away as well. I mean, they got a little bit jumpy on the goal line. The playbook right now for Kinetic, get the ball into this corner and just try and create as much, I mean, jumpiness. I mean, just make them scared and then go in for the press. And every single time it's starting to work. Here again, trying to get into this corner. Sly, just immediate shot on.
Oh, wow.
Huge read.
And the speed from Sly there, I mean, just goes up, and a beautiful read. Just absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, if you're the defense, how do you read that? It's just, Sly's too fast. Too fast.
Yeah, I guess you just got to have a fourth man on the field or something like that, because right now it is looking like Kinetic is just having none of it. They're getting down. They're making it happen. I don't even know how he read where that ball was going, but was able to do so. Sly, we'll call it a back pass to be charitable, and then trying to get back up to this. Havoc shuts it down, but the press continues again. It's getting the ball into this corner and then start the opportunities. It's just every single time it's the recipe book for Kinetic, and finally able to go the opposite direction. A bit awkward. Wilder, how do you make that save? And this press starting to go Leshy's favored ever so slightly.
I think that's the first time we've really seen the blue half of the field so far this game.
Yeah.
Rob, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it hasn't been a lot of blue so far. And once again, I mean, a very quick visit to the blue side. We find ourselves in the orange half again. That ball lurking in front of the net. Go ahead, Crop. Go ahead.
I mean, they're just winning 50s at the midfield. They're not even letting the ball get to the midfield line right now. You can see the third deep and then sends the ball immediately back in. Second man here, trying to create that press. It gets to the corner. Third man streaking in, down towards mid. Second man's there. Like, the rotations are picture perfect right now for Kinetic, and Leshy just has to do something to disrupt, because right now, it hasn't touched the blue side of the field outside of that, 3 to 5 second stint?
Yeah, I mean,
the rotation's so good.
The rotation's beautiful. I only wish I could get rotations like this in my ranked games, because, as you said, I mean, for what was almost a minute straight there, exactly as you said, they had the third man deep, waited for the ball to come to midfield, didn't let it cross the midfield line, but just put it right back and keep the offensive pressure going. And finally, we see ourselves in the blue half again. Brady with a shot, but Wilder getting a relatively easy save there. Kinetic just looking like they're in complete control. Sly Cooper gets a shot out. If that was on target, that would have been a goal. Leshy is lucky. We're under 2 minutes now, Crop. It is still 2-0 in favor of Kinetic. Leshy has to get something, anything going if they want to get a chance. Here's Brady, though, off the backboard. Havoc going for the shot, but just gets beat to the ball. In the corner now, Scrivier is able to clear it for now. Brady won't get the touch. Sly Cooper there off the back wall, doesn't get the second touch. And if I'm Kinetic, I just start kind of backing off, playing defense. And as long as you keep those mistakes to a minimum, they should have this, Crop.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's not really any venom right now in the shots as well coming from Leshy. They've gotten a couple opportunities kind of down the other way, and I anticipate this is going to be, yeah, shot kind of, sort of. I mean, nothing's really all that lethal. And I was going to say nothing's all that lethal, and then Sly comes over, and he's like, all right, I'll show you how it's done. Just gets a pop on, and it's immediately there. Brady, again, rushing too far forward. My word, I take notes, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you got to do. Just take notes and look at the rotations and look at how much possession, especially in the opponent's half, Kinetic has been able to make happen.
And, I don't want to be the one to say it, but I'm going to be the one to say it. I think that third goal, probably the nail in the coffin for Leshy. I mean, they look flat. In that first game, one thing I really noticed, as this could be a goal, I think that's off. Yeah, Havoc will get there. But in the first game, Crop, Scrivier was bringing out the mechs. And it really was breaking open the offense for Leshy. Kinetic recognized that, shut it down, and there's been little to no offense from Leshy since. As Caustic there, that's going to be the 4th one. And Kinetic just kind of rubbing it in now. They said, we got this. We want 4-0 in the game. We want 4-0 in the series. 13 seconds remaining. I think this one's just about over.
Yeah, I mean, Sly Cooper sitting at 50% shooting, got 3 goals this time around. I was sarcastically calling you out, Sly. I didn't mean to come out here and just do it to him like that, but absolutely beautifully done. Gonna be, let's see if it's the 5-0 possibility. Shut down, but it's gonna be a double commit, and there it is. The 4-0, the clean sweep, not only in the scoreline for this game, but in the series as well. And congratulations, Kinetic are going to be your rival grand champions for this season 15. My word, they did it, and they did it in style.
Style indeed, and I mean, we both know what was the biggest moment of this series. Game number 1, Wilder tying the game, excuse me, with 1 second remaining, and then being able to take that momentum into overtime. And that was it. And I believe in my ears, HUD is letting me know we have another poll up for the veteran finals. Oh, MVP poll. MVP poll is up for the rival series. I mean, Crab, who's your pick? Who's your pick?
Ooh, who's my pick? I mean, honestly, the entire team was just so clean. I'm not entirely sure of who I would ultimately go with. I'd possibly, just based off the 0 second, probably have to go with Wilder there. I mean, getting the team to overtime and then ultimately winning it, that's such a huge shift for momentum, and I honestly think that singular goal was the entire series. If you let Leshy come in and immediately win that first game, not even getting it to overtime, I think that's going to be the series, and it's going to be a much different series than what we just saw there.
Completely
that
different.
Singular goal was the momentum for that entire time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, getting a goal like that, even in like, you know, a ranked game for me, I'm hyped, you know, I'm jumping out of my chair going, let's go, I'm still in this. In the finals here, I can only imagine what that did for the team. Just what a performance. But as you were saying, you know, the whole team played great. Wilder bringing the offense, Caustic bringing the offense, Sly bringing the offense. All 3 of them with their perfect rotations. It was beautiful. But everyone, we are getting ready to go to break here. Coming back soon, we have the veteran finals, and Rival put on a show for us. I can't wait to see what veteran has. So we're gonna take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be back real soon. Brady SC putting it to the wall, looking to take control in the air, slowing it down, just wasting that time. Kinetic has to get something going right now. It's high in front of the box, could be dangerous. Wilder's there, down on the back line. Wilder with 1 second remaining ties the game, and we could be heading to OT in game 1. Crop doesn't quite get the second, a little bit of an unfavorable bounce there in the corner. But into the orange half, nobody for blue was there. Scrivier up in the air again, air dribbling it, going all the way. Scrivier gets saved by Wilder. Oh my goodness, and we remain going here in OT.
Opportunity's going, keep this in the orange box. Sly's gonna run back for boost, and Scrivier's gonna slow it down, go for the sky, not able to do so, gets bumped out of the way, and that's a double commit. It's all up to Havoc. Do you wait? And yes, you waited too long, and Wilder, I mean, honestly, trying to run ahead to be the receiver on the pass, and it's gonna be Brady streaking back low on boost, so Sly just has to be one. Actually gets a fake, and Brady sends it out, but it's just a pass to Wilder, and my word, Wilder, 2 goals on 2 shots, just doing work right now.
Lead. A minute into this game, we are seeing a lot of offense right now. That's been in the name of the game, Crop. Which team is scoring more goals? Sly Cooper trying to make something happen here. Will back off of it though. Brady SC over to Scrivier. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful passing play followed by a beautiful shot. You know, you can only play with fire so many times before it burns you. And Scrivier really trying to bring out the mechs every chance they get, but it looks like the defense is going to be caught out, Crop. Oh, that was Caustic. Yes, Caustic catching Havoc a little too far forward.
Tempted to try and keep it out to the side. Sly just going to boom that on Wilder with the redirect.
Oh,
The top bins, not able to get it down. Caustic going for the, I don't even know, 17 touches. Comes out and ends up being an assist, but my word, this was just absolutely bananas. Now, I don't know if anyone's outright winning it, but so far the score sheet is clean.
Yeah, and this could be dangerous off the ceiling, but it will be saved. Sly Cooper's there, though, into an open net. Sly Cooper taking the 1-0 lead. RSC putting it to the wall, looking to take control in the air, slowing it down, just wasting that time. Kinetic has to get something going right now. It's high in front of the box, could it be dangerous? Wilder's there, down on the back on Wilder with 1 second remaining, ties the game, and we could be heading to OT in game 1. Crop doesn't quite get the second, a little bit of an unfavorable bounce there in the corner. But into the orange half, nobody for blue was there. Scrivier up in the air again, air dribbling it, going all the way. Scrivier gets saved by Wilder. Oh my goodness, and we remain going here in OT.
Opportunity's going, keep this in the orange box. Sly's gonna run back for boost, and Scrivier's gonna slow it down, go for the sky, not able to do so, gets bumped out of the way, and that's a double commit. It's all up to Havoc. Do you wait? And yes, you waited too long, and Wilder, I mean, honestly, run ahead to be the receiver on the pass, and it's gonna be Brady streaking back low on boost, so Sly just has to be one, actually gets a fake, and Brady sends it out, but it's just a pass to Wilder, and my word, Wilder, 2 goals on 2 shots, just doing work right now.
Lead. A minute into this game, we are seeing a lot of offense right now. That's been the name of the game, Crop. Which team is scoring more goals? Sly Cooper trying to make something happen here. Will back off of it, though. Brady SC over to Scrivier. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful passing play followed by a beautiful shot. You know, you can only play with fire so many times before it burns you. And Scrivier really trying to bring out the mechs every chance they get, but it looks like the defense is going to be caught out, Crop.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the break. I don't know if anyone was around for that last one, but my word, we had a barn burner. I am Croptopolis. On the desk with me, we've got T-Sant. T-Sant, how are you doing?
I'm still doing great. I mean, we just got to watch an amazing display of control in Rocket League by Kinetic, with them winning the championship, and hopefully we'll see one of these teams in our veteran finals make a statement just like Kinetic did in the rival finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one last point before we get into the next one. That was the number 5 seed of Kinetic taking down the number 2 on the other side. My word, astounding. But with that being said, let's look forward to what's upcoming. We've got Cepheus and Mako's coming through. Cepheus currently sitting at the number 1 seed, whereas Mako's is coming over from the number 2 seed. I'm just going to say my team was number 1, but then we lost, so don't worry about that. But with that being said, let's go over and look at some of the season stats here. I mean, looking pretty clean across the board. T-Sant, what are you seeing?
Right away, what sticks out to me, the saves against for Mako's, they clearly like to be in defense. 326.
Yeah, they have to be just putting on insane number of shots, but that kind of leads me to believe that the shots aren't all that lethal if they're getting that many saves held against them. And, you know, I think that it's going to end up coming back to be a little bit dangerous, especially when there is that big disparity between those saves against, just like you were saying, but the goals for are also going in Cepheus's favor, as well as the goals against. So it's looking like, as far as the overall season stats goes, it's looking like it's in Cepheus's favor. But with that being said, let's take a look over at the individual players side of things. What do you see here? What's popping out?
Right away, I see Nexus, very high shooting percentages compared to Mako's.
Yep.
I just said a
Absolutely.
franchise name. We're gonna, I know what I'm talking about here. Don't worry, guys. But yeah, high shooting percentages. You look at Trevi, 34%. A legit. Someone's gonna have to help me with that pronunciation.
We're just gonna
Buny.
say legit.
We'll say legit. 38% on the season on 164 shots. That's nothing to ignore. Could be a high-flying offense for Cepheus tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, the better 4 assists on the Shark attack, the Mako's side of things. So it's looking like it's going to be a well-rounded offense as far as the team plays go from the Mako's. And I just expect Cepheus to just come out and just feed Trevi the ball and allow Trevi to come out and 1v1 basically the entire lobby. But with that being said, again, we can sit here and talk numbers all day long. Let's get down to the action, see how this first game goes in this best of 7 for the veteran finals.
And right away, we starting off. Shot into the corner from the orange squad, but nothing much is going to come out of it. Sausage Face here with some control, sends it to the backboard, can't get the second touch. Legit now on the ball, going for a pass into the midfield. It's interrupted by Ryan, who now takes control, tries to slow it down, gets absolutely dunked on by Trevi, who goes for the shot, and just a little bit wide. That could have been an opportunity for our first goal of the series. Instead, we keep going, Crop, and I asked it in the first series in Rival, what do you want to see from these two teams here?
Bang. There it is. There was so much respect given to Trevi here. You could see he got up and actually beat 2 to the ball, so Jay had to stop for a brief moment, and that's all you really need is get up, beat a defender or 2 in that instance. The third man's frozen on the goal line, and up by 1 so far. Cepheus is able to make it happen, but it was a good run-on form to start things off for the Makos. Nothing you gotta change just quite yet. Sausage Face with a huge pre-jump and is actually able to get a touch on the ball, but that's going to be a lot of resources used with no forward momentum, no real estate bought, and it's going to be back into this corner. Opportunities off the backboard a few times, but Trevi with a big clear down the other way, and it's going to be legit 0 boost, trying to get it towards mid. Trevi going to corral this to the side, but ACP's coming in, trying to make something happen, going to go for the big dunk. Does just enough, and Trevi trying to rush the touch, not able to get it out of the zone. A lot of big booms going both directions so far. Nobody going for clear control. Just the one so far from Trevi is able to get an air dribble started to get the defense to bite, but nobody slowing things down. Let's see if somebody can change something up, get a clear look at the frame, because right now it's just big booms and backboard touches.
Yeah, and I thought ACP had an opportunity for a shot on net there, but sent it wide instead. So yeah, 2 minutes in, we stay at 1-0 here, Crop. Ryan trying to make something happen, gets a big dunk there in the midfield. ACP with the challenge, goes past Trevi, but not past Sausage. Comes out to Jay, who seeks it past the defender. That was open goal. Ryan's gonna be there though. And I think that was legit in net, who was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not much you can do there. Legit tried to recover. Ryan saw the opportunity and jumped on it to tie this up for the Makos.
Yeah, you don't expect your second man to miss like that in the corner. You're putting so much faith, and then you could see the moment the ball went past, they just kind of froze on the goal line. Ended up leading to an almost own goal, but what do you call it when you pass the other team like that? A bad pass. We'll call it a bad pass, we'll say. He's going to try and take over and just immediately sends one onto frame, actually. So Jay has to streak back and clear this out to the side. But the press continues, and another one on. The ability to shoot from what seems like not even an angle with no forward momentum is just astounding right now from the Cepheus side.
Yeah, that was a beautifully placed shot, and ACP had to make a great save on it to keep it out. And right now, we find ourselves in the midfield. Trevi had a chance on the ball, but it wasn't a great touch. Going to give possession over to the orange squad. ACP now gets it past one defender, can't get it past the second. Ryan's there to follow up. It goes off the backboard cleanly, but no one there for Makos now. And that's a shot on net. ACP will get a relatively easy save, but the offensive assault continues. Jay puts it into the midfield. Sausage Face is there for the touch, gets the dunk on Ryan too. But ACP's there, and no teams now really getting control. It's a little bit of back and forth here, Crop. We're counting down a minute 30. One mistake could be all it takes to give this game away.
Yeah, a lot of lateral play right now. The boost woes are starting to kind of seep through a little bit for the Mako side. They've been able to get the ball down, but they don't always have the resources to get it lethal. Right now, you've got 1 on 0 and 1 on 3, both streaking the whole way back to get the big boosts, and I think that that's going to end up coming to bite them if they continue to do so down this series. But it hasn't come back to bite them just quite yet. It's going to be tied up, and the ball's going to be in the blue zone. Ryan almost getting a bump there would have allowed ACP to have a little bit more lethality on that shot, and Trevi getting the bump and going for the control here. Just takes a shot from outside the box. Jay, wise to it, and it's going to be a long ball. Trevi's going to have this all day long, and actually it's going to be legit coming in. You could almost consider that to be a double commit, too, spending a lot of boost and resources to get it just barely to the side. And this continues, 30 seconds on the clock. Trevi gets it past one. Ryan going for the big challenge, isn't able to do so, but gets the demo to open up the space, and a big send down from Jay again. Nobody clearly going for any sort of control. There was so much space bought from that demo on the third man, but nobody slowed it down. Jay just sends one down into the blue zone. Final 10. It's going to be up to Sausage Face, sends it to the side. Ryan finally slowing it down ever so slightly. It's going to be to the backboard, to the side wall. ACP is going to try and continue going high with it. Ryan's trying to keep it in, but no. Overtime. Game 1, just like the last series.
Hey, well, that's what we like to see, and we'll see this time if overtime sets the tone for the rest of the series. Jay trying to make something happen, gets the touch, gets it down to ACP, but just gets beat out by the defense, can't get the shot. Sausage now with control, going for a little bit of dribbling, gets the shot, but it was cleared away legit, sent it towards the backboard. Trevi now going for a touch, kind of gets it, but won't be able to do anything with it. ACP now trying to make something happen for the orange squad, and still a little bit of back and forth, just like we were seeing in regulation, Crop. Neither team really is able to take control and get a continued offensive attack going.
But this is going to be the opportunity that you want to see if you're a fan of Cepheus. They were able to get this press started. They're getting a lot of forward momentum, and they're buying a lot of real estate on this orange side. The ball has yet to leave the midway for quite some time. Can't even see the midfield line. And it's going to continue. It's a little bit of side to side, but all of the resources are going to be in Cepheus's favor. Legit trying to send one on. Sausage is going to be up to this quick to keep this press going. It's going to be 2 on backboard, so just sent to the side. Trevi trying to get it towards mid. Jay just has to try and send this down, and Ryan's actually going to race for it. Going for a fake, trying to get something around the last defender there. Isn't able to do so, and this is actually an awkward touch, and Jay is there to pick the pockets. It's not going to be, but Ryan secures it. What? How do you possibly survive this OT? Sausage with the unfortunate clear across the box.
Yeah, and Sausage almost got back, but just not quick enough. Mako's gonna take game 1 in overtime. Ryan with the game winner, scored both goals there for the Makos in game number 1, and that was a very tightly contested game number 1, Crop. I hope that is a sign of what's to come for our veteran finals.
Yeah, absolutely. The exact same amount of shots came out to the better saves from Makos, and a lot of pressure came through from Cepheus. I do not know how Makos was able to survive that overtime, having that much pressure on them for that long, but they did what they needed to do. They got the ball out of the zone, and they created so much opportunity off that one press there. But ultimately, it is a little bit of Sausage Face kind of giving that one away. You had somebody in net. I hope the comms are there to say, hey, I'm in net. I'll take over control. Whatever you do, please, for the love of God, don't pass this down to Jay, who ends up sending it down to Ryan. I mean, I would be screaming it all day long.
Yeah, and one thing to note, towards the end of that game, it looked like Cepheus was starting to panic a little bit. I saw more than a couple double commits coming out from them. They're definitely going to want to, make sure those comms are as crisp as possible, or the Makos are going to be able to take advantage, just like they did there in game number 1. Now, Crop, we got everyone in the game. We are counting down game number 2 here. Makos coming out with the 1-0 lead in the series. They'll be looking to make it a 2-0 lead. Meanwhile, Cepheus will be looking to even the score. Starting things off, a familiar place, the blue half, as we saw in OT. Sausage Face, he doesn't want to see any of it. Air dribbles up to ACP, who interrupts. Ryan's there with the shot towards that. It's high, though. Legit is going to be able to get a good clear on it. Trevi now gets it past ACP. Tries to get it past Ryan. Cannot. Sausage Face drops it down. Low on boost, though. Goes for the fake. The defense was not buying it at all. ACP marches it right down the field to no success. And a minute into this game, both teams trying to get some opportunities. Nothing too threatening yet, Crop.
Yeah, I mean, the boost woes are coming through there for quite some time for Cepheus, but able to do just enough to get it down. Trevi has been the one that kind of takes control, slows the ball down, goes for the dribbles, not just sending it down. The big booms towards the other side of the field. And speaking of big booms to the other side of the field, Sausage Face, not even worried about the gaff from last game, comes in, just sends one on frame from the other side of the field. Are we watching Rival again? Let me just wipe off my eyes real fast. No, it is indeed Veteran, but it is looking relatively similar to what we saw last series.
Yeah, and we know how that went for Leshy, who was overcommitted. ACP, just a bit of an ill-advised challenge there, really. Didn't really commit to fully going for the ball or staying on defense. Found themselves in that awkward middle spot. And that'll allow Nexus to take control. Excuse me, Cepheus. I keep calling him Nexus. Someone correct me already. Now ACP over to Jay, who's going to send it down the field. Sausage Face interrupts that, though, but the offensive attack continues. ACP is there, doesn't get the touch. Trevi now with some space, going for the goal. Off the pinch of the ground, can't get it. Sausage Face towards the net, but it will go wide. A demo on the back line, though, from Sausage Face. Allows Trevi to control towards Legit, who's going to get an unfortunate miss there. And things will slow down a little bit. Jay sending it into the blue half, but nothing much will come out of it.
Ooh, that's a big double commit. It's going to be Legit for quite some time. Has to get this strong to the side, is able to do so. And they get the double. Almost got the double. Like you were saying, from the end of the last game, it's looking like Cepheus is getting a little bit jumpy on the defense, and this time around, it comes back to bite him. Trevi not sure whether to go for that one. Gets a little bit awkward below it, and Sausage, expecting a touch in the corner yet again, comes back to bite him, tying things back up.
And, I can't really understand why Sausage doesn't rotate into net there. Your teammate's in an awkward position. You want to... Trevi doesn't care. Trevi doesn't care. He's shutting me up. What a banger of a shot from Trevi.
Oh, my word.
Beautiful read off the ceiling and a beautiful jump in the air, putting it top left corner. My goodness, 2-1 lead for Cepheus. That did not take long at all.
That is why you got to practice your kickoffs. The speed off of the kickoff went and grabbed the midfield boost and was so quick to that ball because of it. I mean, this is a vital part of the game that not a lot of people harp on. Johnny Boy screams about it almost every single day of the week, I swear, but came out to beautiful results there, and so far able to get this press down, and Cepheus up the better one, just passing the halfway mark. See if they can keep this run on form. So far, it's going to be Trevi yet again, just getting past one. ACP is going to send it back into the zone, and Sausage Face is going to have a ton of real estate. Trevi got a demo, just got to get past one. Jay's a little bit awkward, but Legit was a little bit too close, and nobody actually goes for this ball. Excuse me?
Bro, what's happening?
The entirety of the defense called each other off this ball.
Oh, Ryan going for the boost there. Oh, and that is going to be an immediate goal for Cepheus, I mean, in that situation, you got to go for the ball. Jay maybe getting a shot on net, but it does go wide. And that is several times this game now that I've counted. Makos have found themselves out of position on defense. And I mean, that time they weren't really out of position, but just nobody went for the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that was the blunder of, G2 up against what is now Moist, where it's the zero commit. Nobody goes for it. But it doesn't even matter. Ryan getting us back to one clean beat here, and it's going to be Jay getting up over Trevi, who actually calls himself off the ball. Sausage racing back, and Ryan with a clean beat. 2 still streaking. Gonna get it back to 1. Plenty of time on the clock. You don't got to start worrying yet, but this could be the opportunity for Cepheus to tie up this series if they can just keep this score line to where it currently is. Ryan's trying to change that right now, doing a little bit of a break dance, trying to get that ball towards mid, and it's going to be a whiff coming through. Still in this corner, still dangerous, but 2 are going to be up here, so third man can't come in to commit. Got to be a little bit slow and only able to get the 50 to the side. It's going to be ACP slowing it down, trying to beat a defender. Is able to get past 1. It's going to be all up to Legit. Barely able to get the stop there. Beautifully done on the goal line, and it's going to be a chance again. The ability for Makos to just make something out of nothing. Oh, we see a little bit of a musty there. Their ability to make something out of nothing, especially getting shots on goal, is so dangerous right now.
Yeah, and that was some beautiful defensive work from Cepheus. I mean, I thought for sure one of those opportunities was going to go in and we'd have a tie game. But instead, we remain with a 3-2 lead. We're counting down under 30 seconds remaining. Cepheus only has to hold out for a little longer and Legit putting it over to the side. Ryan's going to beat them to the ball.
Backward.
ACP's there, but gets interrupted by Sausage Face. 10 seconds remaining, Crop. We count down. We stay in the blue half, though. It goes all the way across the field, though. Makos, they will have to go the length of the field. That ball's on the ground, and we will hit 0 seconds. Cepheus tying us up here in game number 2.
Oh my word. There was an opportunity there as the waning moments were going away, but not this time around. It is going to be the 3-2 victory coming out for Cepheus, tying this series back up and done in beautiful fashion. The one thing that kind of sticks out to me right now, however, is Cepheus, 0 assists. Kind of interesting. They have every other stat on the sheet that you could possibly want, but no assists. So they're coming out and getting the solo plays, able to make it happen, and that's kind of what I was expecting. I mean, coming into this, the first thing I said is I expect Cepheus, because they're lower in assists, to just solo the entire lobby. And they're doing exactly that for the victories here. So they're able to make it happen. Way to regain off of that first loss, which indeed was close. Overtime. What more can you ask for?
Yep. And hey, we're tied now. Both games, a 1-goal difference. Let's get a poll up in chat, why don't we? See who's going to win this series. It looks like it could be a long one, folks. Both teams playing really close together as we load up here for game number 3, Croc. Any changes you want to see from the Makos, or are you comfortable with their game plan going into game number 3 here?
I think they're good with their game plan. They just got to kind of be a little bit more relaxed on defense. They're getting a little bit jumpy. They're not really getting the big clears that they want. And ultimately, just allow for the ball to just get to where it needs to go. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Let the play develop a little bit and then start that attack. More often than not, especially when you get into these championship scenarios, you start to get a little bit jumpy. Sometimes you're going to have some misinputs, so you don't want to rely on your mechanics. It's going to be all positioning, and here it is. Beautifully done, Jay. Off the backboard, Sausage, a little bit awkward on the defensive line yet again, and Ryan, their second man, just puts it into the box. Sausage, you got to be a little bit more patient. Get outside of the box there. So many offensive presses end up being the pivot point around Sausage Face.
Yeah, and look, that is a tough opportunity. You don't know if it's going to be a net from that angle. You don't know if it's going to hit the post, but still, regardless, you're down 1-0 now. The defensive touches have to just be a little bit better, a little cleaner. And Ryan gets absolutely dunked on by Legit. Sausage Face put it into the middle of the field, but no one is there. Trevi Sends it to the middle to no one. Ryan didn't have the boost to continue for that ball. Big demo there, though. Could that be dangerous? No. ACP's there. Sausage Face had to open that for a second, but didn't have the boost. And both teams going back and forth now. Sausage Face trying to make it happen in the air. ACP beats them to it. Once again, a lot of midfield play here, Crop. Both teams looking for that control.
Oh, Trevi really wants this one. Gets 2 to bite, so it's going to be all up to Ryan. Go to the backboard. It's going to be clean off. It's going to be a shot. The double. No, not able to get around it enough. It's all you needed. You had so much chance, but just ever so slightly off. The shot wasn't lethal enough, but another demo is going to open up the space to transition. It's going to be legit, able to get it out of the zone, but nobody there, so it's going to be Trevi coming in again with the quickness. Jay's up fast to send it back down into the blue zone. Ryan's going to get called off, low on boost, and here comes a shot. It's going to be a little bit high and legit. Going to go for the dribble. Try and get somebody to bite. Gets one. Gets around Jay. No, barely able to make it happen. To the backboard. Sausage is up quick for this one. Not able to get around, but got the entire team to bite. And again, the shots just ever so slightly outside for Cepheus. They have everything that they possibly need. The defense jumps. There's 2 that commit. All you got to do is beat one man, and there it is again. Just not enough. You need
So
that more
close.
lethality. Get in the.
Oh my goodness! And
They can't buy a goal.
They can't buy a goal. I was going to say that exact line, Crop. How many opportunities was that? 3, 4, 5. I lost count. We stay 1-0 in favor of Makos. Ryan with a shot on net. Sausage Face will get the save. Under halftime now in this game. ACP. Oh, that's Trevi getting the shot, but Jay's going to get saved. Ryan puts it out. ACP will take over here into the corner. Gets it past 1, can't get it past 2. Jay's there. Takes control, doesn't have boots, so has to slow play this. A little bit of fakes on the defense, but it will stay in the orange half here. Crop. I still am thinking about that offensive presence,
Bang.
and there's ACP. Doesn't care how many shots Cepheus has. If they're not on target, they're not gonna be goals. ACP showing them how it's done. 2-0 in favor of Makos.
I mean, that's the crazy part right now is Cepheus only registered 4 shots so far. I mean, they had so many clean looks, and even Rocket League was saying not close enough, try again later. And I mean, ultimately, that's at least a 2-goal swing. It should have been Cepheus getting one on the board. They had so many clean looks at the frame, but just weren't able to do so. And then Makos come out and get one. And I mean, that's got to sting a little bit, especially seeing how you were able to get down there. And more than once, the goal was completely open. Not even a little bit. Completely.
It was a wide open net, and they had 2 players banging off the post in the same exact spot. And that's gonna, that could be in their heads going forward. That really could be a big note in this series. Are they gonna think too much about their shots going forward? 1 minute remaining, though. We'll see how much it affects Cepheus. They got to get something going sooner. They're going to find themselves down 2-1 in this series, Crop. Trevi clearing over to the side. Gets it past Jay there. Sausage Face clears into the corner. Jay's the first player to the ball. Doesn't quite get the touch. Slows it down. Legit just not in position to read that. And a lot of time is being wasted here. Time Cepheus desperately needs. Ryan just kind of playing within the air. Trevi now going for the dunk, but Jay will get the save. Clears it off to the side. Sausage Face towards the middle. Legit's there. Legit, no. It gets cleared out again. 15 seconds now. Jay down the field over to ACP. Boom and cleared. Cepheus, they have to get it now. There's Sausage Face.
Oh.
Sausage Face gets the shot and the goal. 9 seconds remaining. They are not ahead of it yet, Crop. Anything could happen.
Everyone pause. There is light at the end of the tunnel. 9 seconds remaining, and I mean, the momentum is there, beautifully done as far as the pass and shot, and they take over control immediately. Sausage with the fake. Trevi goes up high. It's going to be off to the outside, but it's going to be a pop down towards mid. You got to keep it up, and Makos, oh my word, barely able to keep it out of the zone, but my word, the regain that started at the end there, My heart legitimately stopped. I thought that it was gonna be the play, just not able to make it happen, and Cepheus coming out here, not able to make it happen. But again, another close victory for Makos.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I want to say the crossbar did a lot of work for Makos that game, which it technically did, but I mean, that's really was on Cepheus. You said it. They had several opportunities where there was no defender in the net. Not even on the backboard, not on the sidewall, nothing. There was no defender anywhere to be found. And that I forget which two players in Cepheus it was, where one banged it off the crossbar and then the other immediately banged it off the crossbar right away. And it looks like, Crop, we're having a sub. It looks like Mick Fizzle has joined the match. Legit is not here. We're having our first sub of the finals tonight.
Yeah, trying to switch things up here, but my word, it's looking clean so far for Makos, up 2-1. And the thing that's kind of even more crazy right now is the score line in both of their victories was 2-1. So they're coming out, they're doing what they need to do, and they're looking clean when they're doing it. I mean, there's not the jumpy plays like coming from Cepheus so far. They're coming out, getting a little bit ahead of themselves, and that, you know, fourth man for Makos is being a little bit charitable. So if we can get the shots on as far as Cepheus' side of things, the score line for this series is going to be looking significantly different. McFizzle up with nothing, just floating down, trying to make something happen for this press, but isn't able to do so. And Jay in a race with Sausage, but it's going to be Ryan who's going to win this outright. Trevi's got to have a good touch here. Gets it to the backboard, but doesn't get the recovery, so Sausage has to come in and lend a hand. McFizzle from the other side. It's going to be off the post, and it's going to be in. McFizzle, the super sub, coming out and getting the first one on the board.
Yep, right away making an impact. That's a great clear, which would have been a top left, beautiful shot, if not for the save. But I mean, if you're the defense there, you can only do so much. That's such a perfectly placed ball that's so hard to just save, and then on top of that, get a good clear as well. And right away, 1-0 for Cepheus. McFizzle, maybe the energy they need. We'll see how the Makos respond, Crop. They find themselves in their half. ACP hits it to the middle, but it's right to McFizzle, who's in the air with boost. McFizzle gets it off the backboard, and Ryan will have to clear out. Sausage Face is there, gets past one. ACP with the save, though. McFizzle clearing it back down. Big booms coming out from McFizzle. A miss off the backboard. McFizzle won't be able to capitalize, though. That could have been a 2-0 lead for Cepheus. But instead, we stay at a 1-goal game. McFizzle bringing a lot of energy for the Cepheus squad so far, Crop.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing wonders and getting good contact on the ball, which I think is the most important part. And Sausage Face gonna try and go up and get the dunk. It's gonna be off the fourth man again, but it's looking like everyone's feeling a little bit more comfortable with McFizzle on the field. You were saying that they're coming out looking good, but absolutely looking like things are starting to shift with the momentum, feeling better with the sub coming in. Could be a little bit of comms, could be a little bit of nerves, you never know. Sausage Face, big bang off the backboard, and a continuation as well. It's almost going to be in, and a bump on the team. Twice now. It's going to be an open look at the net, but no, Trevi is too far forward. Not ready for that team bump to come through, and Trevi... Did Trevi slow that down? I thought that was in.
Sure, but it doesn't
even matter. Doesn't even matter. Super sub. Just say it. Everyone spam super sub. Coming out here, McFizzle getting another one on, but the press started from the midfield and just continued to relent. The pressure is so good right now from the Cepheus side.
Yeah, hands up if you thought McFizzle was going to come in right away and score 2 goals. I'm sure there's some McFizzle believers out there. And this Cepheus squad, they just look, they look a lot more comfortable now. They've still had a couple of, you know, sketchy opportunities with shots, but McFizzle's there to clean up, and Sausage Face now has an opportunity up the backboard, go for the double tap, doesn't have it. Just a little bit too high. Oh, did I want to see that drop down? McFizzle now with a great challenge. Ryan's got to take it to the corner, and a little bump in action on the back wall there. Trevi thought Trevi was going to take control, instead puts it right to Jay. This is an open net though, and Trevi will take advantage. They're not missing the open nets anymore. Cepheus looking like they completely forgot about game number 3, and it is 3-0 here, Crop.
Yeah, it was a double commit from the Mako side of things. They're getting a little bit jumpy now that the swing has started to come into full effect. The ball is starting to stay more and more on this orange side, and I think that's starting to rattle the Makos a little bit, but down by 3 with plenty of time. We can always say charitably there's enough time, but if they get 4, it's going to start to be a little bit scary. Trevi's trying to get another one there, but Sausage Face just going to clean this up in the back. It's a little bit of a wayward touch, and the amount of times now that Cepheus is passing to somebody or there's somebody to immediately follow up on the touch is really the big differentiator this time around. But speaking of touches that are followed up, where's the follow-up this time around? McFizzle out.
Oh, and
Nobody.
Sausage went for boost. McFizzle didn't get a great touch, went right to the defense there, and Makos, they're not out of it just yet. A minute 30 is a lot of time, especially in Rocket League, and Makos coming right back onto offense. Ryan's there. Didn't have the shot on net, though. That could have been a great opportunity, but it'll stay in possession for the Orange squad, it looks like, although McFizzle with a great challenge there. Almost gets the second great challenge. That's out to ACP, who won't be able to get it towards net, and Jay now leaves it. ACP is in control. It's going towards that. Sausage Face have to make a save. Will connect. Jay there into the corner. Gets a challenge of Sausage Face, and that offensive attack will slow down. Cropper under 1 minute remaining. They still need 2 goals, the Makos, that is, if they want to take this game to OT. Will they be able to do it?
Yeah, you got to stop shooting from midfield and... Okay. Oh, I can't... Let me finish my sentence, Jay. I'm trying to come out here and tell you how to play the game, but it doesn't even matter. ACP, beautifully done, and Jay coming out and getting the beat, getting the dunk up over. You can see a blue trail on that goal as well, so the defender did get their hand up, but it wasn't enough to keep it out, and of course, we're going to have a 1-goal game coming into the final 30 seconds. The fake. Trevi's got to be clean with this touch to the side. Has another opportunity here. Ryan's trying to keep this press going. The final 30 is on the clock. Sausage is backwards. Trevi somehow manages to get the ball on his nose freely there. Sent down. ACP trying to get it to Jay, who's going to have enough boost for the continue, but Sausage Face shuts it down at the point of the pass. Ryan going for the control. I'm liking these back passes, but they've got to get a little bit more momentum to them if you're going to start doing that. Low on boost is Jay. Just sending it to the corner. Nobody's going to be there to get it anywhere. Ryan trying to get a pinch down. Sausage Face going for the fake, and Trevi is going to ground it, and Cepheus tying us back up in the series. My word, and what a way to do it.
Yeah, McFizzle coming out hot. Bringing the energy off the bench. 2 goals to really set the tone here in game number 4. And now Cepheus tying it up. They have this new energy. Can they take that forward and keep it going against the Makos, who made a good effort there at the end, but it was too little too late.
So I just want to point out a quick little fun fact for you. The 2 wins that Makos have had, they've won 2-1. The 2 wins that Cepheus have had, they've won 3-2. The scoreline has been the exact same for both times that teams have won their games. I don't know what that means. I got nothing, but I gotta know, are there any sheeshers in chat? I'm not seeing enough sheesh. Can somebody get me that sheesh? But with that being said, can we get into the 5th game here? My word, it's a back and forth affair tied to a piece. We're asking what we need from each team in between each game, but they're answering back immediately.
Yeah, I mean, the mental fortitude to be able to answer back like both these teams have done, really, really impressive so far. Especially, you know, bringing in the sub. You're thinking, hey, you just want to switch things up, but keeping that mental good, so important. Shout out to both these teams, really showing us all how it's done. Game number 5 now. What could be a deciding game in the series, and Trevi going for a bump there. Jay was still able to make the save. Now that was impressive. Trevi doesn't have boost, leaves it over to the sidewall. ACP off the backboard. Ryan's there looking for a teammate, doesn't have one. Mick Fizzle gets a flick over Ryan, gets a second touch. Jay's there waiting. Jay now with control of the ball. Gets it over to ACP, who gets it off the backboard. ACP was trying to get it to Ryan, who just didn't commit up far enough. The offensive presence continues. ACP over to Jay in the midfield. Jay with a shot, but it was a little bit weak. Trevi's going to be there for the save. They aren't out of the woods just yet, though, Prop. We stay in the blue half. Jay with a beautiful challenge there. Gets it off the backboard. ACP's up. ACP with a shot, and Sausage Face needs to get the save. What a save it is. We remain scoreless here. Challenge in the midfield. This Mako squad are boxing in Cepheus. Mick Fizzle clears it off to the side, but still orange players there every single time. That's high. Sausage Face doesn't get the touch, and Lucky J, though, off the crossbar, remains scoreless. ACP's there, gets it under both defenders. Crop, we have a 1-0 game here in game number 5.
Yeah, this is what I call the Thanos positioning. It's inevitable that a goal is going to go in. A minute 15 spent in the blue corner. There's nothing you can do to stop that. My word. I mean, there was double commits coming from the defense. We're getting a little bit jumpy there. Not getting the whole way out, and they weren't able to get a good, clean look at the ball to get it clear out of the zone. Just getting it to the sidewall, and here it is yet again. You got to get it clear out. You got to get past this halfway mark, but so far it is the Makos doing wonders to just keep them boxed in. Here it is yet again, getting it to the corner. ACP streaking across, trying to get a bump. Now going for the ball, getting it to the corner yet again, and Jay getting a clean bump. Trevi is there to stop the shot. ACP goes up, just steals the boost, and decides to leave the play, circling back in after grabbing the midfield 100 as well. That's going to be 200 in resources spent directly. Oh my, but that's going to be a triple commit on this ball. This should open up some space for Cepheus to come in, but not able to get the press going. And here we go into the orange box this time around. Let's see if the Makos are able to go this time around, but no. Sent out to the blue side.
Yeah, and finally, you know, we saw a little bit of the orange side of the field. Cepheus finally breaking out. Trevi trying to go for the redirect there, but it's over to Sausage Face, who's going to hit it off the crossbar. Mick Fizzle, though, once again coming in clutch for Cepheus, scoring their first goal. We're tied up as we are about to hit halftime here. And Sausage Face didn't get the shot, but it was a great pass out to Mick Fizzle. Sometimes that is all you need. 1-1 here in game number 5. This series is as even as it gets.
Yeah, streaking past the halfway mark here. It's going to be Trevi taking over at the midfield, trying to make something happen. Cepheus looking good on the offense all of a sudden, coming in with a new surge after that first look on frame. Ryan shuts it down. McFizzle's going to have an opportunity to continue. It's heading just outside the box. Jay has to shepherd it to the side, try and clear it out. It's going to be a big 50 at the midfield. Sausage decides to streak back off of this, wait for the ball to come down to them, and it's going to be Trevi up in the race, gets a read off the backboard. Oh, not able to make it.
Mick Fizzle.
I just want to point out real quick that this is Trevi getting the read up off the ceiling and backboard. 2 committed because they had that much faith that Trevi was going to hit that.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this skill level, you got to have a hand up on defense. But still, Trevi, what a pass. And Mick Fizzle has really brought so much energy for this Cepheus squad. Another 2 goals here in game number 5, which could decide the winner. Ryan sent it out to Jay. Jay wasn't able to get the shot off, though. ACP towards the corner. Jay's racing to Trevi for the ball. Trevi will win. ACP Duncan. Trevi gets a bump on net. Mick Fizzle going for the save. Ryan off the crossbar. Jay's there, though, to clean up. Once again, we find ourselves tied.
Sausage got bumped out, and McFizzle don't have enough boost to get the whole way around it. And beautifully done for the offensive press to just remove those defenders, not even allow them to put the hand up there, tying things back up. The press has been going back and forth. The offensive punches that are coming out are just looking so good. And Trevi getting taken off the map, but there is a little bit of a team bump coming from the Makos. ACP trying to continue this off the backboard. It's going to be all to Trevi up against Jay. Do we see the clean carry? And absolutely, this man is just popping off right now. Trevi, all of the real estate you could possibly ever ask for, and the beautiful carry. Jay just stuck looking at it. My word.
I mean, to be fair, air dribble that pretty, I'd be stopping and staring too. But, Crop, you know, you said every game Cepheus has won has been 3-2. I'm seeing the scoreline right now. It's 3-2 with a minute remaining. Could we see another repeat? Right now, the scoreline favors the boys in blue.
It's going to be sent out to the side. Ryan, I mean, if that ends up happening, the script is just writing itself. We just got to see. And then, obviously, we have to go to a Game 7. But we can't just get that far ahead of ourselves just quite yet. Plenty of time left here. And the press has begun into the blue side. Cepheus has to be strong with their touches here. McFizzle able to get a big 50. And it's going to be Trevi actually streaking in from the side. A little bit of an awkward read there. Sausage face pass down. McFizzle has to cut it off before the shot can come through. Ryan's going to be awkward on this. The backflip challenge. Nicely challenged to keep it out of the zone. 15 seconds remaining. The pre-jump comes through. We're in the final 10 seconds. Does this scoreline stand? It's going to be ACP trying to get to continue at the midfield. The final 5, a wayward touch from Jay is going to allow this press to continue. ACP has to go the length of the field. Sausage faces up and a drop down. No shot. That it's 3-2 for Cepheus.
Again, wow.
There's no way.
Look, Crop, I'll just be honest with you. HUD sent me the script beforehand. You know, I saw it coming. He sent me the script. What can I say?
Okay, for those of you that weren't paying attention or just joining us, every single game that Cepheus has won has been 3-2 in the scoreline, and we are currently 3-2 in the series in their favor. What do you even say to that? They're coming out, they're doing what they need to do. The Mako's wins are not as convincing, I would say, the overtime and then the 2-1, but it's opportunities going both ways. More than anything, it's McFizzle. 8 shots. I mean, what do you do against the super sub coming out?
That is a lot of offense, and McFizzle, you know, both games scoring 2 very important goals. And, you know, I think about that game, Crop. In the beginning of that game 5, it was all Makos. I mean, they were all over Cepheus in their half. I mean, it was what, maybe a minute and a half straight?
Minute 15,
just straight orange offense.
Yeah.
And that game really flipped on his head. Cepheus was able to get control, you know, kind of figure out the Makos rotation, and really flipped game number 5 on its head. That was also the first time this series we've had the same team win 2 games in a row. Will Cepheus be able to keep that momentum here in game 6? They are on a match point for those who aren't keeping track. But that's a shot on net off the crossbar. Ryan tries to get another shot. McFizzle will get the save though, Crop. And no goals just yet here in an all-important game number 6. Do or die for the Mako season.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get the dub here, and they're doing what they need to. Another press has begun. Getting it to the corner. Got one towards mid, and it's actually going to be a fake from the defender, and it goes up the crossbar. Ryan, up high, goes low. Bang! Starting off strong, exactly how you need to. You got I mean, that touch was so light, I literally thought it was a fake from Jay. Beautifully done, and able to get it down yet again. Starting things off, and as you were saying, this extremely vital game. You cannot allow this one to go Cepheus's way. If you're the Makos, this is the final game that they need. But it's starting off in the Makos' favor.
And we look at this Makos team. They look really hungry here in game number 6. Really putting the offensive pressure onto Cepheus. But we did see this in game number 5, Croc, and it ended up going Cepheus' way. Hopefully the Makos will be able to adjust, get us a game 7. ACP going for some bumps in the back line. Jay towards net, and a double commit there. Jay almost punishes. Sausage face comes out of nowhere to keep that out of the net. We stay 1-0.
I don't know how that's going to remain there, and it's going to be a double commit actually coming from Cepheus in this offensive corner here. So it's all up to Sausage, who actually doesn't get a touch on it either, and another double commit coming through. It's looking like the opportunities are starting to kind of stretch thin, and a lot of times you'll see teams, once they finally get to that series point, get a little bit jumpy, start to press a little bit too hard to try and get that final win. And so far, it's looking like Cepheus is really trying to come out and just get the knock out early. So far, haven't been able to do so. Mako's still up by 1, and it's going to be McFizzle.
Huge
There it is,
miss.
yet again. It's going to be a miss. Starting to get a little bit jumpy. Could be a little bit shaken. Starting things off, coming from behind, and to win the entire ordeal. See if they can make that happen. McFizzle is going to take control here, but actually gets bumped out, so it's going to be a pull shot pass down to Trevi, who's going to have control and all the space that they possibly need. But the crossbar, the 4th man, blocks him out.
Oh, and the crossbar's done work for both teams. Jay getting a very close save there on defense. Sausage face towards net, but it wasn't threatening. Jay now with the redirect. Will Trevi be able to save it? Trevi won't. 2-0 Makos. They are not going down without a fight.
The doink. You love to see it, Jay. The doink. Beautifully executed the pass down, and Jay, all you gotta do is the single jump up and is able to make it happen. Half the game left. Now, if we're really, really, really gonna stick with the script here, Cepheus can only score 1 here. So half the game remaining. Cepheus gets 1 on the board. It's gonna happen right now. And there it is, McFizzle. All right, nobody's allowed to score for 2:18. I'm saying it now. The decree has been said. We're going to game 7. Nobody can score.
And chat, I already said it once. This is HUD's script. He sent it to Crop and I before the series. It's gonna stay 2-1. It just has to before we go to a game 7, right?
Yeah, it has to. It's in the script, and it's gonna be ACP scoring right now, isn't it? Oh, a little bit in front of the ball. No, Brian, you were the chosen one. How could you? ACP getting it down. In all fairness, a big victory off the kickoff there. Trevi can't even get up to the ball, just looks at it going to the other side of the net. And you know what? I'm over here talking about the score line remaining the same, and Makos are having none of it. They're saying, no, we're going to get game 7 convincingly. We're going to change up this momentum.
Oh, and a pretty pass there from ACP trying to get it over to the net. Can't, though. Ball finds itself in midfield. Jay, first one to it. Sausage Face has to put it into the corners, met by ACP, who goes up for the second touch, and it crosses the net with no defenders, but Jay just